Very good morning and welcome to Smart Main's Business. It's yet another morning that is for the business day. It's the 16th, that is of July, sorry, August rather, and of course businesses are still running all the way. I don't know why I say July, but anyway, we just gotta continue. Well, I'm here with Masi Katsuma this morning, and we're going to be, of course, driving the business all the way with quite very interesting conversations that are coming up onto the show. Masi, good morning. How are you doing?
Well, good morning, Andrew. Good morning, everyone that is tuning into Smart Men's Business on Smart 24 TV. And of course, the perfect duo is right here, and we are here to give you the very best. Of course, today is Wednesday, the 16th of August 2023. I have to check and be clear because, man, these days things are not running. But anyway, regardless, we go. And definitely, we're here to give you the very best of the morning. So, in case you are just waking up, we are here to give you information, educate you in a few things related to business, and of course, always tune in because we have very much more for us to share.
Absolutely.
Discuss.
All right, that's quite very interesting. But still, on that note, still love to remind you that there are quite lots of discussions that are going to be coming up on the show. And of course, following Uganda's being frozen, when it comes to, being given out loans, majority of the stakeholders have come out to speak out and, telling the Ugandans that they shouldn't worry about anything. I mean, there is no inflation that is going to happen. But well, before we proceed into still those related discussions, I'd love to remind you that all these conversations are going to be proudly powered by Zabu. That is a platform from Alltex. We just made the trading experience much more easy and friendly, and the markets are back. It's a fresh day. And for you to participate, it's quite very simple. Start to 92 hashes the USSD code that will avail with options where you will be in position to actually buy government bonds and securities for a fee of just 15,000 Uganda shillings. So the markets are going to be opening at exactly 8:15, running all the way to 3:15 p.m. That is East African time. This is effective Monday up to Friday, apart from the weekends and the public holidays when this markets cannot be accessed. But of course, despite that, you have the rest of the days to capitalize and make money, something which I believe is quite very key and instrumental when it comes to your financial development. Zabu, make this a reality. And also remember, in terms of start 92 hash, you get to register with your national identification number and your national ID number, yes, and you'll proceed efficiently. Zabu says, my money, my future, and Alltex East Africa, well, tells you you got to do something new for yourself. Remember, it is 2023. And now, as we head straight into our morning call, something very interesting.
I do not know, Andrew, actually.
Yeah.
We are. I don't know why now people are in panic. Because I mean they enforced this knowing something would come up.
All right, people are scared, definitely. I would also be scared if I mean, I don't blame the people because, I mean, do you know what it means? The scarcity of money that is likely to come into this country. Yesterday I gave an example and I say that imagine you're expecting money from somebody, but you're not in position to get the money because why? That person is expecting money from somebody. Why? Because there is a stack of circulation of money, and I mean, before you know it, there is a stack of about 10 people in a huge line that money is supposed to reach to, but because the first person that is supposed to get it has not yet received it because it has delayed somewhere, so it is affecting the whole chain of the people. I could be a mechanic. I'm working on this car, and I'm expecting money from my boss, 100,000 probably, and my boss tells me, you know what, I'm also waiting for salary. It has not yet come through. Why? I'm getting this, because I'm a mechanic. I have a child at school whom I need to send this money to. So you see, the child needs the money, the mechanic needs the money, the boss needs the money. The company also tells you there are deals we are still signing, the money has not yet come. So all that, it can really give you a clear picture of what the nation is likely to head into. But of course, we are not here to prophesy doom. We believe that things are going to get better. Now, that's why the Deputy Speaker of Parliament comes out and says, you know what, Uganda can't shut down because the World Bank suspended lending to Uganda. Now, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayeb, has urged members of Parliament, that is to keep calm over the World Bank's decision to suspend loan funding that is in Uganda. But surprisingly, actually, when you get to realize that World Bank freezing loans to Uganda means, because majority of the beneficiaries of the grants that are the loans that are given out by the World Bank are developing countries, and that means to some extent, the World Bank will also be out of business in some sort of a way. Actually, I was discussing with the member of parliament when we were saying that actually that ban is not going to, it's not going to last long because they are also losing out on that. And given the fact that we have these other lenders, though, these other lenders, when it comes to giving out their loans, they're a little bit strict. They're not like the World Bank, which might give you relief. You know, we saw issues we had with China recent with the airport. So what does that really mean when it comes to, looking for other third-party lenders to really come in and fill the footsteps of the World Bank? Now, of course, Tayewa, who chaired the House, that was yesterday afternoon, said that the country will not shut down, of course, because of the recent World Bank position. Of course, adding that Uganda is very prepared and strong. That is about a decision made by its parliament. And of course, he also like what I'm going to mention here, where his exact words, where he say that, I don't know why youth members of parliament are panicking as if the country is going to shut down. This is where his exact words. And he said, we made that decision here, and when we are making it, we knew that it would have repercussions. Of course, they knew that. So probably it didn't catch Uganda by surprise. And we are prepared and strong about the decision we made. And that is as a house. He said, these are his exact words he said yesterday. Now, the World Bank recently announced that it had suspended lending Uganda. That is over passing the anti-homosexuality bill law, which said is against their principles. Like I mentioned, the ESG economic at the World Economic Forum, something to do with economy, governance, and social. And this aspect of the law falls under the social perspective to see the participants of, So the World Economic Forum is some sort of a framework that is giving the different lending institutions, financial institutions globally, that is the IMF and the World Bank, positions and being in position to make decisions according to the framework that has been listed. Now, the Deputy Speaker said Parliament knew that threats that is over Uganda's position on homosexuality, of course, could come out and say they will be dealt with. That is accordingly. Now, of course, TAB asked the executive led by President to manage foreign relations, that is including discussing with the World Bank. So there are some negotiations that are going on. How far are they going to go in terms of coming to a common agreement? That is something that we really can't tell as a result of that. But of course, we hope for the best. We're not going to say that we can go it's okay, we don't need your money. We do need the money if there is a way forward. But if the negotiations can fail, well, you let it be.
But of course, I must say, really, I think us not agreeing with it wasn't the problem, maybe. I think maybe the penalty was really, like I've already said, overwhelmingly. Death and, wow, that's huge. That's huge.
But the death aspect was if you're trying to force some people to do it. They didn't say that if you found out that you're gay, you're going to be killed. That's what the president said.
Anyway, misinterpretation of statements maybe, but of course, our negotiations are underway. So we hope, the time that we are given or whatever consequences that we are facing will be for a short time, okay? Because now the projects that were ongoing are going to continue, but the new projects that are coming in, those ones are the ones that are going to be affected, but the ones that were in the process, already started, are going to continue. So, a lot of arrangements have been coming up, and members of parliament and maybe government deciding on cutting salaries and of course reducing expenditures. True. Yeah, so definitely it could also be a way of us looking into our country and finding means of preparing for such instances.
Absolutely true.
If such instances happen, what is there that we have as backup? If at all such things are happening. So definitely, it is a wake-up call in this case, sort of. It's a wake-up call for Uganda in this case, for us to wake up and know, wow, we've been extravagant. So we have to cut costs, find a way of pushing our country. Of course, people are worried, inflation, things may go up, but I don't think that is the case. I think the negotiations are going to be, I have a feeling it's going to be for a shorter period of time. We're going to come to a conclusion and, set the terms, and we go back and renegotiate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's hope for that best. But still, as we see, as I proudly sum up this report, there is something here that says that Museveni, who signed the measures into law, said Ugandans will actually develop with or without the loans. And that is with immediate effect when that was passed. And of course, the president, however, said that his administration was continuing in discussions with the World Bank. That is so that they avoid this diversion, if possible. Actually, some people are saying, I mean, what if this is just acting like some sort of a diversion, that we're giving it too much attention and trying to assume
to lose focus on what is actually happening within
exactly
the country.
to lose focus on what is happening, the important matters that we have to sort as a nation within. But anyway, that is regarding that. Time will tell, and let's see how Uganda will be surviving for this period of time. Well, that is it for our morning call at this point in time. And now let's switch our eyes and take a look at what's making headlines into the praise. I've got the new vision with me here, and Master Katsumi is going to be taking us through. That is the Daily Monitor. But of course, according to the look of things here, when I see the top here, the tri-exams begin on new curriculum. Of course, majority of the schools came up and said weren't ready for this. But now the tri-exams are actually out here, and we see something to do with trafficking. How Karamajong children are trafficked to Kampala. And quite lots of ventures regarding that. And then digital car plates venture to create 1,000 jobs, something which has had quite lots of debates. And now for the matters of the economy, the Bank of Uganda lowers interest rate. Wow, that means that there is going to be some sort of an increasing money in circulation, because that means the rate at which the commercial banks are going to be getting from the central bank is going to be down, and definitely that comes back to the individuals. Maybe probably it's because of the World Bank. I have a feeling, I don't know, and trying to find ways they can increase the money in circulation. And now with matters of court here, we see not selling land without notifying the tenants. If you actually have a building out there, you have people that are renting that building, you have no rights to sell it unless you inform them. That's according to here in the New Vision.
Well, in the Daily Monitor, top story right here, more NSSF servers to qualify for midterm access. In in COVID, that the pandemic period, people, they reduced the time for people to, get their kamani. So that people are actually more, because man, we are in tough times. People are rushing, they can't wait for years. They are stuck with loans and they want to pay them. They are really stuck. So. So it says the new bill under the plan changes the fund law. Any member aged 45 or older will be eligible to access midterm benefits, unlike the current provision that additionally requires that they must have remitted contributions for at least 10 years. Now, of course, this is quite absurd. A Ugandan killed in Ukraine war. He was actually a computer scientist, and it was said yesterday he was killed. So we console the family. Sad. Yes, may he so rest in peace. And of course, much more noob terror suspects remanded again. And of course, much more of those that are interested in politics. Mohozi and the Honorable Speaker of Parliament, they're in Teso sub-region.
And now still here into the New Vision, we see that about 500 youth to benefit from the Rotary mentorship scaling program that is scheduled to take place anytime. So you can find that out. And then an accounting professional here, that is Sanjay Ruhani, who says that actually the accounting profession is still relevant, says Stanchart Bank boss. Well, I mean, for the people that are doing that course at campus, don't feel discouraged regarding that. I know that I've talked about these accounting softwares that are coming up to replace you. But of course, if the boss himself into the industry comes out and says, well, the accounting profession is still relevant, then you got no right to drop it down. So you got to keep rolling it all the way. Now, government rolls out a milk dispenser in towns, schools, and hospitals. And of course, there has been this aspect of milk. People should take milk. And yeah, it's healthy. Yeah, schools should take milk. Even at workplaces should take milk.
Oh, yeah. But mostly for children, for students going to school, they have to balance. You know, I remember we used to do, it's just that maybe dry tea is easier. I mean, milk, most schools can't really afford.
But of course, there are preparations to make sure that even those that can afford it can actually be better to afford it.
Yes, actually, there should be such. If there is the money, why not? We have to have healthy children with active brains. So here there is a law to regulate property of deceased in the offing. Of course, there is a new law in the offing, and upon enactment, will hold property on behalf of others, including the dead in trust. Now, being drafted by the Ghana Law Reform Commission, the proposed law, dubbed Trust Law, is aimed to curring the current scattered pieces of legislation which confuse users, especially those with no legal background. Of course, these are related to inheritance, property of the deceased. And of course, East African Community budget crisis. Tanzania, Congo reject $103 million supplementary.
$1 million.
Supplementary. Costa East African Community is facing a statement over its budget for the financial year 2023-2024 after partner states Democratic Republic of Congo, Tanzania rejected the budget. This, according to members, has paralyzed business of the community and its constitution. When 2 or 3 decide not to agree, things are into turmoil.
Absolutely.
That is the thing. Anyway, you know,
true.
you try to come together and someone lags you behind, and you're like, oh, what now?
All right. Now, as we're heading into the traffic, the images that you actually been seeing in there, today is a Wednesday. That is the clock tower. Exactly. Perfect. So, yeah, for the people that are coming in from those areas that, you know, you're linking towards this place, you know, Gaba Road, Kabalagala Kansanga, you're coming to work, you can actually see, and the children are about to get holidays, so soon the roads are going to be clear in the shortest time possible. So those are the vehicles that we are seeing. Probably these are coming in from this other side, from Kabalaga, and some are coming in from Entebbe Road. So you can really observe, but it doesn't seem to be like more. It doesn't look to be so congested according to the look of things, according to what I'm seeing. Just right there, a number of borders, pedestrians, people that are walking, and all that. Yes, so it's a calm situation today. This Wednesday, a cool Wednesday. You know, I'm really surprised. I mean, it's sunny out there. We're into the rainy season already, if I'm not mistaken, but they just didn't decide to rain. But anyway, the situation is really quite calm according to the look of things. Yeah, lots of public vehicles here, taxis as compared, because of course the people that are coming in from those areas, most Entebbe Road, yeah, of course majority of them, not so many have their own individual cars. Maybe some do, but they decide to leave them. Of course, due to unavoidable circumstances. But if you're coming in from Entebbe Road, Kajan, see those areas along, and so many. There's quite lots of areas along. You may not be really hindered so much. Just a slight jam. Of course, vehicles being held from there. You know, passing by the Safi area, and you know you come link up in here. And you proceed, to your desired destination, but the traffic doesn't seems pretty calm as according to the look of things. But of course, the delayed construction still is proving to to make the route a little bit unclear and quite confusing to some of the users that are using that route actually to head to the different destinations. Now, what about for the people that are coming in from some people actually live Chivoli, they can pass via here. I don't know whether it's you could skip the access road and decide to pass via here if you're coming in from Chivoli. Okay, now for the people that are coming in from Zambia still, well, you can see there is actually two lanes are held. The vehicles that are coming in from Entebbe are held, and those that are coming in from Gaba Road are also held. I don't know what the officers are up to here. I'm seeing 3 of them in one, and one other guide. That's about 4 people on the junction. Well, okay, of course, controlling these vehicles to make sure that there is a safe path, you know, to avoid those early accidents on such an early morning, which may not be a good thing, not a healthy thing for people that are walking in there. Yeah, so there is absolute work that is happening in here. Vehicles held, so there is an empty space between, of course, as you're heading towards town and the routes that link up to here. You know, so for the people that are coming in from Kansanga, Kabalaga Road, probably you might find that sort of a hindrance a little bit, you know. But of course, we can best tell when these vehicles are released to understand whether it's a huge fleet there or it's a light fleet coming in from there. Yeah, lots of pedestrians, like I told you. This area harbors quite lots of pedestrians there, you know, walkers, people will walk and head to other different areas. But anyway, the situation seems a little pretty calm. That is around here, most especially if you're leaving Kampala and you're heading to Entebbe. Yeah, you might be, it might be easy for you to reach in there. Well, that is it for the traffic updates this morning. It's exactly 25 minutes past 7. Still, before we take this break, I would love to remind you that the markets on the Zambia platform are going to be operating anytime soon, and for you to participate, it's quite very simple. The step 292 hash is simply the USSD code to avail with options. You have to be in position to buy bonds and securities for a fee of just 15,000 Ugandan shillings. The markets will be opening at exactly 8:15 a.m., running up to 3:15 p.m. That is East African time, and this is effective Monday up to Friday, apart from the weekends, the public holidays when these markets can all be accessed. But of course, despite that, you have the rest of the days to capitalize and make money, something which I believe is not instrumental when it comes to your financial growth and development. So Zabu made this a reality, and that's why you gotta be a part of this. But also remember, on top of step 292 hash, you gotta register with your national identification number and also your card number at the same time. For you to proceed efficiently. 15,000 only, but you can still choose to invest more, but you can start with 15. That's why Zabu says, well, my money, my future, and all East Africa tells you gotta do something new. It is 2023 rather. Let's take a short break, and when we return, we'll be taking a look at what's happening in Caribbean, East Africa, and the international business updates. Stick around.